Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is Friday afternoon. Was not planning on going live whatsoever, watching some March Madness, but just came across the Twitter sphere. The 49ers make a trade. Definitely not the trade or a trade that we thought was going to take place, but the 49ers go out and get a kicker. And this is this is a little bit of a bird's nest, if you will. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay, so the 49ers trade for Zane Gonzalez. Okay, now somebody listening right now is like, who? Zane Gonzalez was a heck of a kicker who got hurt in the preseason last year. Crazy groin injury, so bad they actually have to cart him off. It was a season-ending groin injury in the preseason. Well, the Panthers brought in Eddie Pinheiro, who was incredible, and they just signed him to an extension literally days ago. And it came across the line, hey, they're going to release Zane Gonzalez, who seems to be cleared. Again, I don't know, seems to be cleared. So just came across Twitter sphere, Tom Pelissero, the 49ers trade for Zane Gonzalez, who the Panthers were going to release. And this is where it gets interesting, because what did the 49ers trade for him? Didn't trade a draft pick this year. Didn't trade a draft pick next year in 2024. And you really didn't even totally trade a draft pick in 2025. It's a draft pick swap in 2025. We don't know the terms of that yet. I'm sure that will be coming out shortly. And if you guys see something come across, please let me know. But here's the great news, okay? We're going to talk about kind of what Zane brings and what he does, but super cheap deal. You're getting this dude pennies on the dollar. So if you just look at what the 49ers are going to be paying this cat, it's the last year of his deal. He was on a 2-year deal. You're going to be paying him $1.4 million as a kicker. Okay. $1.4 million as far as the cap goes. That is absolutely bananas. So you're getting them super cheap. If we were going to keep Robbie Gold, and again, I think you kind of have to you kind of have to look at this versus Robbie Gold. And I can't believe I'm looking up cap position or cap penalties for kickers right now, but it's what it is, just because I want to put this into perspective. $1.4 million cap hit is the 21st kicker in the NFL. Okay. So you're going from, you were top 8 with Robbie Gold, and now you're saving money. You're saving about $2.5 million. Well, let's put a player to that. You just signed Clelin Ferrell for $2.5 million on a 1-year deal. So essentially, you're getting Zane Gonzalez and Clelin Ferrell over Robbie Gold. Will that pay dividends? I don't know. But again, the compensation is in a pick swap in 2025. And I'm so proud of Josh. Look at Josh. Oh, this isn't Josh. Sorry, 49ers throwback. I'm giving out credit. I was reading 2 comments at once, and I apologize. I blended them together. Josh says saves us a draft pick this year, and he's practically free. You're exactly correct. And saves us a pick next year. And I'll be honest, Brian Carter just texted me. This saves me, most importantly for John Chapman, I don't have to do kicker film now. I was putting it off, and it was going to be the last thing that I did. I'm not big on drafting kickers, man. 7th round, cool, but I would much rather 2025 pick swap for a kicker that's already, established, I would say. And right here, 49ers throwback. Is he good on touchbacks? You watch football, you understand football, because the 49ers special team has been just a disaster. Well, here's the great news. Not only because the 49ers, you can't just get any kicker. And a big reason why I think Robbie Gold wanted out is because he's still handling kickoffs. That is not fun for somebody that's 38 years old. You saw him get blown up a couple times. Like, you do not want that. But Mitch Wisnowski can't do kickoffs. He does not have the leg for it. So the 49ers are in a very, very weird position because you have to have a kicker handle both duties. Usually the punter handles the kickoffs, but Mitch can't. That's been proven. Yes. The answer is yes. Zane Gonzalez handles kickoffs. In fact, he's been around since 2017. He was drafted in the 7th round, which is the earliest a kicker should ever go. He's out of Arizona State. So again, the connection to Arizona State, 49ers, John Lynch, Herm Edwards, all those connections make sense. He was with Cleveland as a rookie. Then he went to Arizona. Then he went to Carolina in 2021. And whenever he went to Carolina in 2021, he was bananas good. He had a 90% field goal success rate, which was incredible. Okay, that's 2021. He didn't play last year, coming off a huge groin issue. So a couple things to take away. His career trajectory has been like this. Then he got injured. So bad, they carted him off the field on a groin injury, season ending. It's kicker, so groin's going to be a little bit more different than most things. But yeah, touchbacks, that's a real thing. If you look at him throughout his career, sorry, my camera's like blocking the very bottom of the screen. He has attempted 287 kickoffs, okay? 287. Of those 287, I got to dance around so I can see it, 166 were touchbacks, okay? So well over half. And that's all I care about. If you could tell me half this guy's kicks are going to be touchbacks, even if you want to bring in another kicker, which I don't think you do, that's a huge plus. I'm a special teams aficionado. The first coordinator position I ever got was special teams. I dove into that, man. I believed in it. And eventually, DC, OC, head coach. But man, I remember I took so much pride in special teams because there's so much hidden yardage. And when the 49ers have the best defense in the entire NFL, you're losing all these hidden yardage because your kickoff coverage sucks so bad. It's been terrible. It got closer to average last year, but still just terrible. So I'm excited for this because, man, if you're telling me every other kick is a touchback, 49ers, it's just huge for this defense. What's up, Jack? Oh, I love it, man. He says, hi, John, 2 things. What the hell? Why did we replace a proven veteran kicker with another veteran kicker with a huge recent injury? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, Jack. You are the freaking man. Every single time we get a good trade or anything happens, 49ers sign somebody, Jack's like the first one that I find out things from, which is awesome. Jack's the man. So one, there's this, you have to play this Robbie Gold versus Zane just because one's out, one's in. Robbie didn't want to be here. Robbie didn't want to be here 4 years ago. Okay. So you could only hold somebody against their will for so long. The 49ers weren't going to franchise tag him because that was going to be close to $5 million. Robbie Gold's still out there. Nobody signed him. There's like 2 teams without kickers. The 49ers were one of them. You don't. Robbie Gold has earned the right. I believe this. I really, really do. And I like Robbie Gold. There's pros and cons to every single kicker, and we'll get into those. Robbie Gold could not kick over 50 yards. That's a huge con. Pro, he makes everything under 50. That's just what it is. Incredible. But he doesn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here last time, and the 49ers literally twisted his arm with the franchise tag, forced him back. He didn't want to be here. Let that cat go. He's earned that. He has earned that. And I think one of the things that separates the 49ers from several other teams is that they do right by theirs. Even the DeForest Buckner thing, they let him pick his contract. They let him pick his trading partner. They let him go do those things. And they told him, we can't do a contract with the 2 in front of it, right? Over 20 million. He said he wanted 21. Guess what? He went and got 21. Guess what? He got to go pick his team. Guess what? Hasn't played in a playoff game since. He might have played in one playoff game with Phillip Rivers. But they let him choose that. He chose money. He got his money. And they let him pick where he was going. You let people You take care of yours. And I think that's what they're doing with Robbie too. And sometimes you just got to let him go. Sometimes you just think you got to let him go. And so like it's that's one thing. So, okay, let's look at just Zane Gonzalez career-wise. One, he's younger, right? He's 27 years old, about to turn 28. So you're talking about a full decade younger than the current kicker or than Robbie Gold. He's no longer. So any chance of Robbie Gold coming back, that's done now. DUN, it's over. He ain't coming back. But 50-plus yard field goals, okay? On his career, he is 11 of 18, Zane Gonzalez. So he's made 11 out of 18. Not bad. You go back to 2021, he was 3 out of 5. So it's not like he's got like an insane leg, but listen to these field goals that he has made from 57, 56, 55, 54, 54. I mean, you talking 57 yards. Robbie Gold, that dude was 47 and under. That's it. So you again, football is a game of inches, right? You have now just extended by 10 yards. By one, that's one fewer first down that you have to get before you're in field goal range. You remember Jimmy, right? Like if you go back to when Jimmy got hurt, Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy both said this. I know how important it is for us to get to the 30 so that we can be in field goal range. And I'm not saying that I'm putting this on Robbie Gold, but I'm just telling you, this is the mental philosophy and how things go up here for the quarterback and head coach. You got to get those yards back because you're going to take the sack. That's fine. You got to fight for those extra yards so you can be in field goal range. And Kyle said the same thing. Jimmy understands how important it is for us to get to the 30 for Robbie. And so he's fighting for those extra yards. Breaks his ankle. Now, that's not as much an issue. Now, I wouldn't say it's 30 to 40, right? 30-yard line was the target for field goals for the 49ers for the past 3 years. I would argue probably the 36 now, not a full 10. Yeah, he could kick a 57-yarder. He's made one, but I'm going to say the 35-yard line, that 36-yard line. Now you just scoop back the target a little bit. Is he going to be as accurate? He is not. He is not. But he's got a little bit more leg. There's no doubt about that. Extra points for his career. 2021, he was 95.7%, 97.4% in 2020. 2019, 97.1. So you're talking about somebody that's pretty dang good. And again, 63.6% touchback rate. That turns me on, baby. I'm sorry that just excites the hell out of me. Now, let's just go back and let's look at Robbie Gold, who is incredible, so we can compare these numbers. And I think it's important. The last 3 years kicking touchback rate, 7%, 42%, 49%. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. I just think that's big. And if you're just looking at successful kick rates, the last 2 years, 84% made field goals, 87% made field goals the last 2 years for Robbie Gold. So you're talking about somebody that the last year, now, it was the best year of Zane Gonzalez's career, 90.9% accuracy, which is better with a better leg. But is that what you're getting? Because you look back over his years, again, I'll go through his whole entire career. 2017 comes into the NFL, 75%, not good. Comes back, finishes with, he plays for 2 total teams, 64% in 2018. He got cut from Cleveland, picked up at Arizona. Then he started doing better in Arizona. 2019, 88%, solid. 2020, down year, 72%, bad. Then 2021, 90%, 91%, 90.9% field goals. That's pretty damn good. That's really good. Didn't play last year, 2022. That didn't show up at all. Again, he got injured beforehand. The groin and all that stuff's there. Now, he's been the special teams player of the week twice in 2021, week 8 and week 10. He was the special teams player of the month in 2019 in October. All right. We're all right with this. There's some good things here. Great news. It doesn't cost a pick this year. It doesn't cost a pick next year. It's a pick swap. next year, 2025, baby. They're going deep in the pocket. So a couple things that I like here. And I got a couple more comments from Jack that I don't want to miss. I love it. Gonna miss his snarky competitive spirit. Yeah, not a lot of kickers talk trash to Jalen Ramsey and flip off fans and all that stuff. I really appreciate that. And so I do love that. Now, here's a couple things that I really, really love. And oh my gosh, Danson, you're the best. You know, we broke down every single play on special teams last year, preseason, every single play. You can go watch them. And for those, they're my least watched Patreon breakdowns by far. You know, I understand special teams breakdowns are not for everybody, and that's okay. But they're up right now. You can go watch every single special teams play from the whole entire year as soon as you sign up on Patreon if you want to. But those are my most animated. I get pissed off. One, because the 49ers defense is the best in the NFL. It's hard to get mad with what they're putting out there. Then you're looking at the offense. Oh my gosh, it's incredible, especially once Brock Purdy stepped in. And then you go to the special teams, and it's just like, you do not belong. You are not on par with the 49ers excellence and what they're putting on the field. It's not there. It's not there. So, Danson, I think you nailed it. if the special teams footage gets a little easier to swallow, I will be a very, very happy camper. Hopefully, I'm pretty happy anyway. But that's huge. So thank you, Danson. I appreciate that comment. And if you haven't signed up for Patreon yet, what are you doing? We are putting out so much content on there. It is incredible. I think we did 7 breakdowns last week, plus a Zoom hangout. We're putting out a lot of content over there right now. And so draft plus free agents and all that kind of stuff. We are just working over there. Now, here's the thing that I want to go to. I love this front office, and I've been saying it for a long time. This is a creative way to save salary cap and guarantee you get the guy that you liked for pennies, literal pennies. You're getting a guy that's the 21st cap hit for kickers. Don't have to worry about a rookie kicker on a team that has Super Bowl expectations with what you have. You're getting a veteran whose career has been trending up for pennies. One of my favorite things about Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they will call on anybody. On anybody. Now, are you getting a top 5 kicker? I don't believe you are. But you're not paying for a top 5 kicker. And I'll be very honest with you. Robbie Gold, not a top 5 kicker anymore. Now, maybe in the history of the NFL, I think he is. But with where he is at age 38, for the things I talked about before, he handled kickoffs. He hated it. Couldn't get a touchback very well. And couldn't kick it past the 30-yard line. Like he just 47, right? You add 17 to 18 yards to wherever the ball is when you're doing a field goal. So if they're at the 30-yard line, that's a 47 or 48-yard field goal, depending on what the tendency is for your kicker, if he's a low trajectory or high trajectory kicker, whatever. It's a whole thing. But I love Robbie. And I'm forever thankful for what he did for the 49ers because he was clutch. Never missed in the postseason. I mean, that's incredible. But yeah, right here. Keola says, are there any knock your socks off kickers in this draft? Jake Moody's probably the biggest one. But again, I'm going to be forthright. I am a film guy. Okay. I have spent over 6 hours today watching film, stacking my wide receivers on a vertical chart, 1 through I have 41 wide receivers graded. Me and Josh and the Bryans, and, the whole team, we're working through them. I have not done kicker film. I was dreading doing kicker film. I have not done kicker film, and I'm not going to do kicker film. But I don't know. I might have to go back and find some. I might be able to find some Zane Gonzalez film. Oh man, my life has reached a low point. But I am happy about this deal. I'm very, very happy. Just the touchbacks alone. Just the touchbacks alone. The defense. Life got easier for the 49ers defense today. That's just the truth. It's special teams. Kickoff coverage is such a big deal, and the 49ers suck at it, man. And they got better today. Tyler, thank you for the super chat, man. He says, this isn't a bad pickup if you think about it. because since we're a defensive-led team, improvement in special teams gives you better field position, and then the cap hit. Boom! You're saving money, and now just think teams will have to go on average about 6 more yards every single defensive drive, right? On average, there's 11 defensive or offensive drives per game. 6 times 11, boom, 66 yards. That is a difference. Flip side, right? How many field goals did we attempt last year? Let's do this out real time, and I'm pretty sure my math is going to be terrible. That's okay. We're going to figure this out. Maybe it won't let me. Come on, Pro Football Reference. How many field goals did the 49ers attempt last year? Okay. So if we're just looking at what he did last year, good gosh, we got a lot of them. He attempted, only 32. 32 field goals he attempted. Robbie Gold made 27, right? So 32 times 6, because the 6 yards per kick. Robbie Gold had to kick from the 30. I'm saying the 36 would be the new target line, right? Whenever you're watching like Fox, the games on Fox or CBS, and they put the field goal line up there, used to be the 30. Now it's a 36. Okay. You attempted 32 field goals last year just during the regular season. 32 times 6, that's 180, 192. That's 192 less yards. See what I'm saying? Like, it might sound like small and like, oh, you're being picky and whatever else. I'm sorry. Like, these things matter in games. Look at the freaking Dallas Cowboys and how their season has ended in back-to-back years because of poor clock management and because of field position and all those things. Missed field goals, whatever else. Like, it matters. Now, the question becomes, are the 49ers getting Zane Gonzalez 2021 before the injury? That's a question we don't know. My assumption, all trades are pending physicals by the new coming team. So here's what's going to happen. Panthers signed Eddie Pinheiro to like a 2-year deal. They told everybody we're probably going to release this guy. Niners come in and say, not so fast. We can save you a little bit of cap money. We want to guarantee he comes here. We'll swap 2025 picks. Hilarious. They agree, okay? Something's better than nothing. He's going to fly to Santa Clara now, and now he's going to go through a physical where doctors and all that kind of stuff. If he fails that physical, then the Niners can tear up this deal and walk away. That's all there is to it. But if he passes the physical, now the 49ers are like, all right. The 49ers are all right. Uncle Sati said it's a kicker, and the picks are 2 years from now. That is correct. This is a 2025 pick swap. I still haven't seen it come across the line. I'm not seeing it anywhere, but it's big. And the thing that you have to constantly remind yourself, it's not just a kicker. You have to get a kicker that can handle kickoffs. That's half the kickers in the NFL. Cut out, right? Like, kickers don't want to do kickoffs. Do you know why? Because you have to tackle. You got to tackle. Nobody wants to do that. Kickers are usually small, scrawny guys. Now, if you look at Zane Gonzalez, he's not that small. He's 6'202". Like, that dude, I'm going to throw it in the, I want to see here. Let's play FUD here. Let's go to Zane Gonzalez. Oh, he didn't do it. Man, he didn't go to the combine and do all his measurements, because I was going to say, man, let's put him in the combobulator and see who he matches up to. But 6'202", like, that's some size. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's just like a small, frail kicker guy. Now, he's not a freaking swole dude. Like, what's his name? Whatever we had, Joey. Was it Joey? Oh, man, what was his name? Sly? Yeah, Sly, where he was like all jacked up and whatever else. You know, you don't have that, but you're all right. So a 6 foot, 202-pound kicker, he's going to be just fine. He will have to pass that physical. And so that's the next thing. And the Niners got time, because let's say hypothetically he doesn't pass his physical. Niners will rescind the trade, cancels it out. Cap hits 100% the Panthers. Now the 49ers are back where they were. And then John Chapman's got to do kicker breakdowns. Yeah. So there we go. Steve says a better stat would be, how many yards do you save off kick returns? Well, I think let me phrase it this way, okay? Let's go to 2021, okay? Where here, I'm trying to talk myself through this. I'm not a very smart man, but I do know what love is. All right, so 2021, okay? Zane Gonzalez had 55 kickoffs. Of those 55 kickoffs, 35 were touchbacks. 35 were touchbacks, right? So that's just 20 that you have to field, because it's not only yards that are gained. Guess what? Talanoa Hufanga's out there on kickoff coverage. Jimmy Ward was out there on kickoff coverage. Oren Burks out there on kickoff coverage, right? So Kyle Juszczyk, Jordan Mason, like you've got guys that are out there on kickoff coverage that you do rely on offense. That's 20 more full speed freaking whammos and, getting tangled up and all that stuff. So that's 20. Now, let's go back to Robbie Gold. Let's see if it will allow me to do this with what he did last year, okay? So if we're just looking at kickoffs, man, he's played for a long time. Long time. All right. Wow. This is a testament to the 49ers. 111 kickoffs last year. That's a lot. We scored a lot of touchdowns, a lot of field goals, and so it was just kickoff, 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 kickoff. Of those, 51 were touchbacks, so pretty close to 50%. So the 49ers had 60. They had 60 kickoffs they had to cover, as opposed to 2021. Now, again, the Panthers didn't score an error as many times, but they only had to cover 20 kickoffs. The 49ers last year had to cover 60. That's 40-yard sprint, full speed, running smack dab into somebody and trying to make a tackle. And again, we got our starting safeties out there. Tayshaun Gibson out there. Jimmy Ward out there. Talanoa Hufanga out there. We had our dogs out there. Now they don't have to do that as much. So one is the touchbacks. Two, now you don't have the contact on those touchbacks, right? Because in today's NFL, if that ball comes to the end zone, you always see the kickoff return guy holding his arms up saying, hey, we're let it go, let it go, let it go. We're not blocking. We're not doing anything. And so they compound, especially whenever you talk about the 49ers who have played 20 games in 2 out of the last 3 seasons on these deep playoff runs to the NFC Championship. You're playing a lot of football. These little bitty things make a big difference. I'm excited about this, man. Forrest Gump Chapman. Yeah, it's not too far off, man. And so, yeah, I like this. Oh, what's up? Keola, what's up? He says, John, what's your and Wayne's size? I'll send you a 40-hour shirt from Hawaii. I'm an XL. I don't know. I don't want to say what Wayne's is. I think we're about the same size. He's a little buffer than me, though. I'll give him credit there. But yeah, I'm an extra large, man. That's very, very kind of you. That is nice. That's nice. And yeah, Uncle Salty, always the voice of reason. I can see him shaking his head and rubbing his beard. He says, if healthy, Gonzalez should be fine. Take a shot and relax, people. Thank God it's Friday. That's right. It is Friday, and I'm excited. Brian Carter, he says, Lombardi said this is a leverage tactic to negotiate with Gold. Quite possibly. I know that Lombardi's been pretty stuck on Gold's coming back, but if Gold doesn't want to sign here, I don't think he has to, because he's not going to get the full franchise tag. That's already passed. So I think he's to the point where Gold can literally hang up his cleats and be just fine. He's played forever, literally just came in the league in 2006. We're in 2022. I'm happy for him, man. And I hope he gets to go somewhere, and maybe he just sits on the couch to start the season until a kicker is not playing well and he comes off, middle of the year signing. I don't know. But whatever he does, I'm going to be pulling for him as long as he's not playing against the Niners. That's what I'm going to say. So I like this, man. I'm very, very, the 49ers got better today for pennies. You're saving on the cap. I did not want to pay a kicker. I did not want to draft a kicker. I do not like drafting kickers. 7th round, I'd be okay with it. A 2025 pick swap? Hell yes. Hell yes. That I'm totally down for. So special teams, huge plus no matter what. The only question is, are you getting 2021 Zane Gonzalez, or is he not healthy? 49ers will be finding that out this week. this week in that physical. So they better freaking go in there and do whatever they got to do. Because if not, you gotta reject this trade, and that's okay. Matthew, what's up, man? He says, catching up to the live. Now you got to go make that kicker tape. Yeah, man. I don't know if I have 2021 kicker tape for the Panthers. I might have to turn over some stones to find that. I don't think I have that on my catalog. We'll see. I get the tape through a secret scout guy. I got to send a lot of money his way. We'll see as it is. But yeah, I think Robbie Gold's gone. Special teams improved. There is a question mark here, but you went cheaper. You went huge. This dude's cap hit is 30%. 30% of what you're going to pay Robbie Gold. 30%. So, I mean, that's awesome. And so, again, the 21st cap hit kicker that's going to handle kickoffs and field goals. I think that this is a positive, guys. I really, really do. So we'll stay tuned. I wouldn't plan on jumping on live now, but I'm glad we did. 49ers trade. How often do we get to say that? This is fun times. For a 2025 pick swap. This front office, man. I digs it. I digs it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Enjoy your Friday. Go Texas. Get that dub. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.